Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the ZB&J podcast. I am your host, Zoop, from the land of Missouri, and over in Dinky, Texas.
Round the wheel.
He's really fat, and up in Canada.
Hailing from parts unknown, it's the ultimate Brisulph.
Oh, God.
Iron Fury's gonna be in heaven.
He truly is. Welcome, everybody, to the fourth episode of the ZB&J.
No, this is the fourth. Never mind, I'm dumb.
Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. You shoved those Twinkies in your mouth. You're the fat wrestler that always is fat.
Hey. It's
your counting
now.
is the dog shit. You know that?
It truly is. It honestly and truly is. But anyways, welcome to the fourth episode of the ZB&J podcast. It is, what is the date on this? The 6th or 7th? 7th of January.
2013. We made it.
13.
We made it. Suck it, Mayans.
Yeah, we did. We absolutely did. And we're settling in after our Christmas hangover, both figuratively and literally. And what has been up with you guys? What did you guys get for Christmas?
I had my best Christmas probably since I was a kid. I got a TV, and in total, across all my Christmases, 8 DS games.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah, that was not bad. I had my very own Christmas of 8 games right here, except they were all for me.
Nice.
That's amazing. What games did you get? Go ahead and
I'll talk about some of them later in the 2012 rundown. Well, let me see if I can remember them all. Remember them all. I got Code.
Oh man, now see, that's a great problem to have whenever you have so many games that you can't remember everything that you got.
I know, right? I got Rayman Origins, obviously.
Who got you that? Some idiot?
Some fat idiot named Zoop. Runs around calling himself Zoop's Soul like he's some mystical new agey piece of shit. I don't know who he is.
Also, I'd point out he's not black, so...
I do sell herbs out of the back of my van.
Okay. I got that, which, thank you, if I haven't told you.
Well, you're welcome.
I got this Atlas game called Code of Princess, which people say is a piece of shit because it's short, and the RPG/beat-em-up mashup element doesn't work. But the shortness works to my advantage because I like short games, and that's all I have time
I've
for.
I've heard the box art is really shitty.
Well, if you like people with almost no clothes on, then it's not shitty.
From what I hear, the box art, I haven't seen it, but from what I hear, the box art has like a half-naked woman who has like battle gear on it's like her forearms are covered up by armor, and she has like battle gloves on, but like her torso's completely completely exposed. So it's like, oh man, if you strike me in my wrist, I won't feel it, but please don't scratch me in the tummy.
Yeah, that's pretty bang on, actually.
Yeah,
it's not bad looking though. I decided to give it a blind chance though. So
from what I gathered, it's an illogical box art cover, but that's literally all I know. Other than that,
well, I'll let you know how it turns out. I haven't got around to it yet.
I am interested though, because Atlas is good. That is the one good thing. Yeah. That's the one thing I know for certain in gaming.
I heard the dialogue and writing were really good, and it seemed interesting. The concept, like half RPG, half side-scrolling beat 'em up. I'm like, that sounds like a winner. So
yeah,
I gave it a chance. And then let's see, what else did I get? I got New Super Mario Bros. 2.
Nice.
I'll talk about that later. I got Crashmo off of the 3DS eShop.
I've only played Pushmo, but I like Pushmo a lot. So
Crashmo's pretty cool. I got Cave Story, the 3D version.
Nice.
Did I get VVVVVV as a gift or not? I think I may have just got that myself.
Either way, it's an excellent game.
I got Paper Mario.
I've heard good things.
Yeah, I've heard good things, but I played like the first intro scene, and I don't know if this is a problem with me, but I always feel like a huge pussy when I play Mario games anymore. 'Cause it's all like sticker comments and festivals and tea parties and and it's all just...
Well,
I don't know. I didn't used to feel that way. When people said in the 90s and stuff that Mario was too cutesy and everything, I was like, what are you talking about? And now I kind of acutely feel it, you know. Intro of Super Mario Brothers 2, when Mario and Peach and all them are sitting around having a tea party and just nodding heads at each other's polite conversation. I'm like, ugh.
What? You have a problem with me having tea parties or some shit? You want to fucking fight?
I don't have a problem with your tea party. I'm not talking about your tea party.
Well, as long as it's not the tea party, then I think we're in the clear.
I don't know how many games I named off there, but I'm sucking up all our talk time here.
Yeah, that's fine. What about you, Brian? What did you get, buddy?
I had what most people who listen to this would consider a boring Christmas, but for me it was a great Christmas. I got stuff for around the house. I got gift cards for house improvement places, and the gift that I like the most of all, and you guys, I guarantee you're going to laugh, but I got 2 sawhorses so I can set up my bird feeding table up off the ground so I can have seed on top and underneath, so when it snows, there's still seed available for the birds.
That sounds like some beginning of a Mario game shit right there. I'm just kidding. I wish I had hobbies like that.
I actually think that's rather sweet, Brian. I'm not gonna lie. You're making me tear up a little bit. Also, didn't some fat motherfucker from St. Louis get you something too that you failed to mention?
No. Oh wait, no, that sentry turret. Yeah, that kind of blew a hole in my dog's head. I'm kind of pissed about that.
Well, I mean, he was trying to use the portal gun, so...
Yeah, and if anyone's wondering, I got the Army Camo turret.
From Portal. It's true. Did you get the other thing with that too, Brian, or no?
I actually forgot about that. I used that yesterday. How can I forget about that? It's a Minecraft diamond pickaxe bottle opener. I was cracking beers after I cleaned the basement and watching football. It's good times.
There you go. Very nice, very nice. For a second there, like the past... I don't know, 3 years running, I've ordered something for a friend from out of state, and I usually order 2 items unless it's like Jesse, where I just go nuts with 1 item. But I usually order 2 items and never fail. At least once, they'll ship 1 item and then the other one will never ship, and they'll just be like, "No, your order's completed and we took your money." So, one of those things.
Lovely.
As for my Christmas, I had a wonderful Christmas that is even somehow pansier than yours, Brian.
Damn.
I got brand new pots and pans.
Nice.
So I get to practice being a woman like 24/7. It's awesome. I love having periods. But the other thing that I ended up getting was several. I'm a huge sports card collector. And my mom actually went out and got me a bunch of baseball cards. Ooh. And I ended up getting about $600 worth the baseball cards and about $200 worth the baseball cards.
GD,
so
dude.
Pretty, yeah. Good luck there. Yeah. Pretty nice. And for our wrestling aficionados, I got a Ric Flair autograph in a box of wrestling cards. So. Woo!
Wait,
pretty nice.
What?
Pretty nice. Ric Flair is a wrestling.
Yeah. No, that's why it's confusing to me. Did they just slip that in there with the baseball cards? So like you?
Oh no. It was a box of wrestling cards as well.
Oh, okay.
Baseball and wrestling are my 2.
I was like, A, Ric Flair never played baseball. B, huh?
Well, he probably did fuck a lot of baseball players, so there is that.
God.
Especially in the 70s when they had that long moppy hair. But anyways, though, it was a good Christmas in the McCutcheon household.
Yeah, it was pretty solid.
Yeah, I know, right? So right now, I wanted to delve into this issue. Brian, you mentioned to me that Sony recently took out a new patent.
They did indeed. They took out a new patent that is basically it looks like require the registration of games. I've actually got the patent right here, and I'll read the abstract to you.
Do it.
A game playing system indicates a use permission tag provided for use in a game disc for a user of a game, a disk drive, and a reproduction device for reproducing the game. The disk drive reads out a disk ID from the game disk. When the game is to be played, the reproduction device conveys the disk ID and a player ID to the use permission tag. The use permission tag stores the terms of use of the game and determines whether a combination of the disk ID and the player ID conveyed from the reproduction device fulfills the term of use or not. And to put that into English for you, that means when you put your game in a system, it's going to go, this disk gets the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it's registered hard-locked into this system, and if you then try to sell that game, no store is going to buy it because it's no longer available to be played anywhere else. You can't take it to a friend's house and play it. You can't lend it to a friend and go, oh, this game's so great, try it out, it's great. This is Sony setting up to basically make it, you buy a game disc and you are stuck with it. And you can't rent anything. So you want to try a game before you want to buy it. Like, I know not many places rent anymore anyway, but if you have a place that you can rent, you go, I don't know, I really want to try out, I don't know, let's say Walking Dead series, because they're releasing a compilation disc for that very soon. They could have that registered and you'd never be able to try it. And it's basically just setting them up to kill any stores that deal in secondhand stuff are going to take a massive hit because that's where they make their money. It's just it's insane if they go this way. It has to be suicide, right, economically?
And also, you're not going to be able to collect those things. Like, they'll be worthless as collector's items. They'll just they're disposable games.
So, in fact, if I may call back to the sports card thing, occasionally you'll open up a box of cards and you'll get a thing called a redemption card. You scratch off the code, you type the code in, and basically it means, oh, we couldn't get this in time, but we'll mail it to you whenever it's available. That's more or less what games would be now, is used redemption cards. It would be disposable shit.
Yeah, there would be no reason to consider it a lasting piece of anything. It would be of its time, and it would.
Go ahead and finish.
No, I mean I get what I'm thinking, but I can't put it out there. I just think it's shitty.
Yeah, the thing that really strikes me is the fact that we're slowly moving away from video games becoming collectible, tangible items that you can like physically hold, physically delve into. Like, how many games nowadays, I know you guys don't really buy a whole lot of new games, but I'm asking the reader, or listener I should say, how many games nowadays do you actually go out and buy and open up and there's actually a full instruction manual? Usually you get it and it's a 2-page manual telling you how to insert the game into your fucking PlayStation.
Now, I will say this for the instruction manual thing. If the instruction manual technically isn't a required thing for a game, this is off topic, but just to cover this quickly, if there's a tutorial in-game to teach you the first time you play how to do the different stuff in-game, and then that tutorial is skippable in subsequent playthroughs, that you don't have to sit through that same god-awful 10-minute, here's how you do,
as long as
the
it's
special
that.
bean jump. That's the way to do instructions. That's the ideal way that is the ideal way to do it in the current setup.
Yeah.
Because to write a 30 or 40-page manual, that costs them a lot of money to get to write it, to get all the graphics, everything else. For them, it makes more sense to put it in the game and then have that be skippable optionally after the first time you play. That's the best way to do it.
As much as I agree with you, Brian, the fact is that we're slowly moving away from games becoming a collectible physical item. I remember going to the store whenever I was a kid. I remember opening up the box that the game came in. I remember diving right into the instruction manual, and there's all these cool illustrations. You know, and it's like, oh, look at all these different enemies that you're going to find in the game. And it was like, it was a prepper, you know, without spoiling anything. It was like, oh, you know, in Resident Evil, oh, look, here's what the hunter is. Oh, my God, I can't wait until that thing lops off my head in 2 hits. It was really exciting. It was a way to prep you for the experience that you were about to have. And now that's gone. I mean, really, you get an instruction manual now. It's all like, this is what the disc looks like. This is what your Xbox looks like. Put this in there. It's just, I don't know. I agree that it's more helpful to have the instructions in the game. But It's just one more thing to take away from the collectability of games, in my opinion.
But how is that killing the used game industry?
What, this thing we're talking about, the patent?
The instruction manuals.
The instruction manuals, because I mean that's well, it's not killing the used game industry, but what it is, it's slowly taking away from it though. It's lopping off a limb from it, because used games, the only reason that people go out, well, okay, here's a better example for this. Some people, myself included, would prefer to go out and buy a physical copy of an older game.
Oh, absolutely.
As opposed to downloading a version of it from a...
Well, I'll emulate all the livelong day, but yeah, I prefer to own a physical copy of a game.
Yeah, it all boils down to, would you rather go out and purchase... I'm trying to think of an old... Panzer Dragoon. Would you rather go out and purchase Panzer Dragoon, or would you prefer to just download it onto a thing to where you're eventually going to run out of space and have to buy a bigger one? You know, it's... I don't know. I feel like a lot of people go out there and they purchase these older games as a form of collecting. And a lot... If here's the thing, okay? This is a good way to go about my point. Go on eBay right now and search versions of Chrono Trigger for the Super Nintendo. The ones that come complete with the box and the manual are going to go for 10 times as much as the ones that are just the cartridge.
Well, yeah.
And that's collectors, though, for the most part. eBay is just such a collector's haven now. It's disgusting.
Oh, yeah. I would never.
I feel like used game stores are the same way, though. The mom-and-pop game shops. That's what they certainly don't make any money off of the new games that they sell.
No.
I know that for a fact. They don't make crap off of that. So, I mean, to me, that's just one way of lopping off the limbs of it. The thing that will kill those stores is if Sony actually puts this into effect.
Yes, that's what my point was saying that if they put this into place, then all the mom and pop ones are definitely going, and you'll see stuff like Electronics Boutique or GameStop or the what have yous of the world that are mainly they're video game stores. They are going to have to expand in what they do, or they're going to die, because they make the most of their money on used game sales.
And from my personal experience, the faster they die, the better.
I don't disagree. The problem is, with less competitiveness out there, the less you're going to get in price potential. And that's the other thing I wanted to actually mention, that if Sony's going to do this, they really have to cut the price of their games. You cannot be charging... How much is a game in the States? $60?
Yeah,
roughly,
$59.99.
yeah.
Okay, up here they're more like 75, 70. Yeah. Like, that's a lot of money to risk on somebody going, hope it's good, because I'm stuck with it.
Yep.
Yeah, eventually people are going to get to a place where they're like, I'm not paying for this shit.
So the only...
Because you don't ever hear about, like, DRM anymore.
No, you don't.
Everyone that's what this is going to be. This is going to be DRM, where they quickly realize, holy shit, this is a fucking terrible idea, and they're like, if we want to make money, we better stop doing this. Because there does come a point when people of the internet will complain about their entertainments.
Hold on, the internet will complain about something? This is news to me.
Well, I mean, they'll do it in a way, they'll do it in like an earth-shaking way that is like, okay, fine, have your thing.
What I think is interesting is you saw it with the music industry. Whenever they freaked out about pirating so much that they went the way of the DRM. And as soon as that happened, what happened? People started pirating more stuff.
And also they don't make money anymore.
Exactly. That's what's going to happen here. This is a knee-jerk reaction to Sony going, well, we're not making any money on sales of used games, and we're not making, blah, blah, blah. And they decided to implement this. This is going to backfire really, really bad, to the point where they're going to have to change course midway through the PlayStation 4. Thoughts?
I don't disagree. That's a possibility.
Yeah, you pretty much nailed it.
The only thing I could say to that is that if this thing is so repugnant and repulsive to the taste that I don't think it matters how well they dress it up, how well they make demos available to test games, how well this is rolled out. You put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig. So.
Yep. You absolutely nailed it. That's
correct, Mr. Palin.
This is this is one of those things, though. I don't know. It seems like such a dumb idea that I don't see them going forward with it. It's It's one of those astoundingly stupid ideas that
either they won't go forward with it, or they'll go forward with it for like 2 months.
Exactly.
And then you'll get these games in this weird period where they'll become a footnote of history. Like, how many people play Spore anymore? I rest my case.
Yeah. It's the type of thing to where they're going to take 1 foot forward and 2 steps back because baby opposites attract.
And Nintendo will swoop in and do something and make tons of money again. End.
That's actually something I was going to cap this off with, is no matter what happens, even if this is widely successful, you won't have to worry about Nintendo doing it because Nintendo's out of the fucking time so far in the past that they'll start doing this about in 2024. So no matter what, you'll still be able to rent your Nintendo games. It just won't be no Sony or Microsoft. So, worst case scenario, you can still rely on your trusty old out-of-date Nintendo.
All right.
It's so weird how them being a fusty old fuddy-duddy so often turns to their advantage.
Isn't it weird? I think it's because a lot of gamers are just cranky people, so they're kind of like old people.
Get off my lawn and give me my games.
Exactly. They're so old school with it. They're just like, I don't like oatmeal. You know, I don't know. I think it just sort of
oatmeal's not bad. I don't like the oatmeal, but I like oatmeal.
Oatmeal's pretty good. It's it depends if you get the kind that's just like plain oatmeal, because that's kind of boring. But if you get like cinnamon sugar, it's pretty good.
Cinnamon sugar.
I like it.
I need some peaches. Need some peaches and cream in my oatmeal.
Good lord, this thing's going off the rails faster than something that goes off the rails very fast.
You know what's really funny though is I intentionally did that just then. I was like, all right, I'm going to steer in this direction just to piss Brian off.
Yeah, just steer it into the wall, and then that can end it.
Yeah,
good idea or bad idea.
You just got to see how well the car's built. You know, just ram it into a wall a few times.
Precisely.
But so last time on the podcast, I completely. I wouldn't say completely trashed, but
You were harsh.
I was a little harsh on The Walking Dead.
I wouldn't even say that. I would say you were skeptical of its game of the yearness.
Either way, I'm the type of guy...
Actually, if I could say it, he was violently verbally skeptical.
I wouldn't say it was necessarily...
He verbally bashed that thing pretty good. Like, it was in the hospital with a concussion and, like, a broken arm. I'm just saying.
Oh, RG3, no.
Oh, no.
But I'm the type of guy that if I make a mistake, I own up to it. And I made a mistake. I went ahead. They had The Walking Dead Episode 1 available for free on Xbox Live. And so I went ahead and I downloaded it, to give it a fair shake. And after the initial hump, I was really honestly blown away. I couldn't quit playing it. It's all I did all weekend, actually. And I managed to finish it after, I would say, probably about 12, 15 hours, something like that. And because each episode, there's 5 episodes, each one takes about 3 hours, give or take a little bit, usually taking a little bit more than giving. But I was really blown away. I was absolutely wrong about it, and I urge everyone to give it a try. And I don't know if it's Game of the Year, because, again, I don't know if you can actually give a point-and-click adventure Game of the Year in 2012. Why not? Because usually it's not deep enough to... It can be deep enough, I suppose. But in this instance, it wasn't deep enough in terms of gameplay.
See, I would argue that those games can easily be deeper than, like, your Heavy Rains and your Alan Wakes and your whatnot. Because you don't have to bother with action set pieces, generally. And I mean, you can put them in for good measure, obviously, and most adventure games have them just to break up the monotony of the moon puzzles and everything. But you have a lot more opportunity to get deeper.
I would argue that Heavy Rain and The Walking Dead are pretty much even in terms of gameplay. Essentially, Heavy Rain was a point-and-clicker at its core. You had quick time events that were mashed in between.
I threw that out there because it was like, that's the one that everybody held up as like, this is going to take video games into the age of storytelling.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't already there, but I mean.
Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I liked Heavy Rain just fine. I like The Walking Dead a whole lot more. I would absolutely recommend it, though. I don't know. A lot of times, less is more. And I feel like that was the case with The Walking Dead. Less is more. It had an original story. It doesn't follow the TV show or the comics or anything like that, from what I gather. I know it doesn't follow the TV show. I'm trying to hold off on the comics for a while, but it was such a good story, though. I found myself in tears like 3 different occasions.
That's what people have said.
Yeah,
man, I'm just so done with this zombie thing, though. I gotta say, like, even if it's amazing and everything, just zombies makes me not want to care at all.
To me, zombies are always going to fascinate me because it's just ever since I was a kid. I love Thriller. I love The Walking Dead. I love Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead, to this day, is still the original Dawn of the Dead is still my favorite movie. It has been for quite a while. It was always one of my favorites. The older I got, though, the more I realized how great the social commentary is. I almost call it The Walking Dead again. In the original Dawn of the Dead by George Romero. But so to me, and then, growing up with Resident Evil and things like that, to me, there's always this nostalgia factor. And it's the type of thing, in a story, I always love the mystery of a story. And in most zombie pieces of fiction, such as The Walking Dead, such as Dawn of the Dead, and the earlier George Romero universe of zombies, it was always, okay, here's a bunch of people in a really bad situation. You don't necessarily know what caused everything to get there. There's your big blank. And that's ultimately the less is more. You don't really know in The Walking Dead.
Yeah, they generally don't bother with what caused those things.
Exactly.
It just kind of drags things down, usually.
I completely disagree. I think that by
I'm saying that's why they don't include it. I guess they feel it.
Yeah.
Sorry,
absolutely.
I didn't clarify.
No, that's fine. It convolutes things and makes it to where it's something more outlandish because this is never going to happen. That's the thing that we all accept whenever we dive into this. But the scenarios that puts the characters in the places that they're at, that could happen. Just not with, zombies crawling all over the place. There could be, a nuclear strike or something like that causes the world to go to shit. Who knows? But
that reminds me, for some reason, I need to read The Road.
Yeah.
Not a zombie thing, but you just reminded me.
But
Carry
still,
on.
It's still exactly the same type of scenario, though. And so, I don't know, that always interests me. And with this in particular, they did it so well. I was absolutely shocked. I was really blown away. It left me so depressed by the end of it, because it's just a chain of shit. That's literally all it is. Just all like, okay, point A, the very first chapter of the game is the happiest this shit's going to get. And every subsequent chapter, it's like, oh man, it's just one bad thing happens after another. No one is spared. And it keeps you guessing the whole way. So just for the story alone, even if you don't like zombies, I know it doesn't apply to you, Jesse, because you're not up to date with the with the consoles. But for the listeners out there, even if you think that zombies are overplayed,
I could still get it on PC, I imagine.
If you have it available to you, I urge everyone to do it, just because the storytelling is so good, and it will leave your soul raped.
Well,
Okay.
Well, there's a recommendation.
Yeah.
If I could get over the zombie hump, though, if it was good enough to get over the zombie hump, the personal zombie hump.
It is, and the reason it is because it doesn't focus on the zombies, it focuses on the characters around the zombies.
Well, if it's on PC, I'll give it a shot.
I highly recommend that you do. I would put it up there in my top 3 games of the year. I'm currently playing Dishonored. So I wouldn't put it above. I wouldn't put Dishonored above it. I do like Dishonored thus far, but The Walking Dead, Borderlands 2, and Mass Effect 3 are in my top 3 for the year, and I was wrong.
A part 1, a part 2, and a part 3.
Yeah, I was wrong. I admit my defeat.
All right.
That's
Well, you don't
all
have to
I gotta
wallow
say.
in it like a big old pussy.
Well, I know, but I love being right. All right, guys. 2012 is over.
Yay!
Fuck that year. Get that year out of my face. Take it out back and shoot it.
It was
Agreed.
pretty
What did you-
good.
No, agreed 10,000%. That year had to go. Couldn't go
Yeah,
quick enough.
yeah. High five. Smack. Swish. Yeah. Why was 2012 a good year for you, Jesse?
I don't know if I can name anything specific. I just get a good vibe from even-numbered years. I don't know.
All right, fair enough.
My
Well,
boy
I
got
like the
reelected.
number
I'll
two.
say that. The apocalypse was averted.
I don't
Although,
know.
honestly,
How
I
the
could never
world's
see
gone to
Romney
shit.
becoming president.
Yeah.
It just seemed like another title for his resume to him.
Well played. Well played.
What, did I miss something?
Just laughing at Romney's resume. I can totally see that.
Yeah, you know,
recent
owner
jobs.
of company, president of United States,
Yeah.
owner of 30 McDonald's franchises, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Really shitty dye job, you know.
Right, like right on his LinkedIn profile. I can totally see it.
Well played. Brian, why was 2012 a shitty year for you?
2012 was just one of those years that it started okay and it slowly went downhill. And the last 4 months of the year in particular have been really rough. There's been a lot of transition in my household, a lot of stuff changing.
Yeah.
And these guys know the details. I'm not going to go into it on this piece, but it's been a tough year, and it's actually showed on my YouTube channel at points. There's been stuff that I know hasn't been up to my usual quality, and my posts have been irregular. It's difficult balancing act when you have things just going badly in your life, and hopefully
Well, when you
2013 will just be
when you
better.
do Let's Play or talk-throughs, and you're over, say, 26 years old or so, you know, it's a lot harder to not let life interfere.
No, that's part of it. I mean, I have a lot more cares than I did. I guess 2008 in the spring is when I started doing the stuff I did. I want to be the guy and race some guy that was so embarrassed that he deleted his account and blamed it on hackers.
I fucking hate you. But Brian, you know, a lot of that stress would just melt away if you just did like me and just absolutely didn't care about the quality of your videos or your jokes or your information.
Honestly, my quality of my videos and that stuff, that's like, unfortunately, in real life stuff, that's like somewhere in like the 15 to 20 range, whereas even a year ago, that would have been like a top 3 worry for me. I can't put the energy into worrying as much.
Also, if you
worrying
severely
about-
reduce the quality of your videos and jokes, your subscriber count would go up tenfold.
It would. You should
Rape,
try it.
rape.
That's
Don't
what
rape me,
happened
Barrel.
to me. Rape me.
Throw
I
a little-
love rape.
Throw a little PewDiePie and Tobuscus bullshit
In the
there.
bathroom. Yeah, let's hit all the low points, shall we?
Sorry.
To anyone out there who watches those people and really likes them, I apologize, but I'm not going to change my stats. They're all just
I'm not sorry if you
mediocre,
like
terrible.
PewDiePie or Tobuscus. I would be sorry if you liked Nintendo Capri Sun.
Yeah.
I don't know who any of those people are.
Be thankful.
I don't even own a Nintendo Capri Sun.
Ha ha!
God, I want a Capri Sun. 2012 was a shitty year for me because both of my parents fell tragically ill and my father can no longer talk after having 9 strokes. I
Jesus.
also started the year off on January 4th by losing my job.
I remember that.
Yeah, so I knew it was
Woo!
going
Did
to
you
be
throw a
a
little
great-
one-year party with a cupcake and a candle?
I essentially just sat around a darkened room with a single cupcake, a single candle, and making a grumpy cat face. But
You're good at that, by the way, the grumpy cat face.
Yeah, he is.
Thank you. I was hoping it would become a meme on the internet, like the human grumpy cat, but it didn't, which is too bad. And that you can thank Val for that, by the way. She's all like, every time you do that, you look just like Grumpy Cat. And I was like, really? And she's like, yeah, you should do that. So then I did that. But by the way, Val's here. Say hi, Val.
Hi, Val.
She's brushing her teeth, so it may have come out a little muffled. But
There's a really bad joke right there, but I'm not going to say it.
there is a really bad joke, but don't worry, that isn't happening anytime soon. But
Watch it once in a while, Dave. That would probably help.
it might, but I can't risk it. But 2012 is also a really shitty year for games too. I was looking over because every year I make a top 10 list, right?
Yep.
And every year I have at least 10 games I go, oh, that's pretty good. I can barely come up with 5 this year. And albeit I didn't play Halo 4, I didn't play Call of Duty, I didn't play... Was there a new Battlefield this year? Because I didn't play that.
Probably not. They don't release them every 5 seconds like Call of Duty, so...
Yeah, fair enough. But I haven't played any of these sequelitis games, but, well, I played a few, but not all of them. So, but I mean, God, man, it's so boring, you know? I may just do a top 5 this year once I get done playing, like, Assassin's Creed 3 and... all of the stuff that I would consider vital before making a decision. But man, what a rough year for games too,
now,
man.
I will say this, that there was one very good bright spot in my life in the summer. When it didn't start bright at all when the laptop died, but it became a very great bright spot of just like warming of the soul and feeling so good about just people and humanity in general. It was a boost that I really needed in the summer. When the laptop died and then some other guy from Dinky, Texas decided to start up a Indiegogo campaign on behalf of myself to get a new computer. And I figured it'll raise like a couple $100 at most and whatever. It'll be a little bit of money to help feed to a new computer like 6 months down the road.
Right.
And
I was really shocked by how much you ended
and
up with.
And the subscriber base came through huge with a ridiculous amount of donations. I believe it was $1,660. And there's still
that is
some of that
correct to the dollar.
And there's still some of that money sitting off to the side for some other plans I've got. I've not used all the money yet, but I used it for the computer, and otherwise money's just sitting there waiting to be used, guys. So what hasn't been used yet will be used. And I say we, I mean I have started the long, arduous process of going through all of those perks that I said I was going to do. They are in process right now. Super Mario RPG is being played. I've done one video where someone sat in. That'll be going up this week on the channel. So probably by the time this is released, it'll already be on the channel. And
well, I'm going to try to get this out faster than I did last time. To be fair,
and also to just to give a little hint for later, the first special guest on the podcast is because of the perk donation stuff. So look forward to that a little later.
Very nice. We need to get this ball rolling, fellas. How about we dive in to the miraculous world of the now defunct Nintendo Power? Brisulph, hit it!
Boom! Ba-doo, Nintendo Power, it's so fun and corny.
Okay. $10 PayPal for whoever comes up with a to put around him mundanely stating, it's so corny and fun.
fun and corny.
And by the way, I'm not actually giving you $10 PayPal, so fuck off. It's imaginary PayPal,
Offer
you fellas. Offer void. Whenever.
Offer void on planet Earth. Okay, so...
So
what
what
about our articles? Our topic this week, I just quickly wanted to touch on some scores in the NES Achievers section of a magazine. I just wanted to do a little is this like a cheated score or not, or just read some scores or some entries that I found really funny. And this comes from Volume 22, March 1991.
Oh, so it's not the Cliffy B issue.
I guess not, no. I couldn't tell you what's on the cover because this one is missing its cover, so too bad there.
What volume is it?
It's
Volume 22.
I'm on it.
It's probably that monster who goes around eating old covers of magazines.
It's probably Star Tropics or Metal Storm, judging by the top two things at the magazine, I suspect. But Star Tropics, if my memory serves, there was like a red bird on the front with like a purple background or something.
Well, Jesse is finding that. Let's dive into this.
All right, so the first
It's Metal Storm.
Metal Storm, thank you.
Good job.
So, just looking, no problem. So looking at this, first thing that comes to mind first thing I found weird was for the game Bomberman, we have Nancy Heights and Richard Pratt. Both scored 1 billion points on Bomberman. Have you ever played Bomberman, either of you? The original?
Fictional.
Yes,
Fictional. A girl
have.
couldn't get a score that high.
Ha ha ha.
Next!
See, here's the thing. The most you're going to score killing enemies, even
Just
if you
kidding,
chain them,
ladies.
is like 6,000, 7,000 when you add it all together. Like, you'd have to chain a lot of enemy kills, unless you just played the game on loop for, like, I don't know how long that would take, but it would take a long time to score that. But here's the other oddity about this. 2 entries for Bomberman. They both came from Lansing, Michigan. Why 2 entries, and why just Lansing, Michigan?
I've been to Lansing,
Also,
Michigan, and I don't believe that there are people playing games in Lansing, Michigan.
Also, didn't you have to have photographic proof of your scores?
Yeah, well, that was really hard to get around.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I guess.
No, it wasn't.
I mean, there wasn't much photo doctoring in those days, so...
No, the way to get around it was you just have two NESs. One would be your cheating one. One you just plug into the wall and just have with the power thing on. They go, oh, there's the Nintendo in the picture with the power on, and there's the nice score. They clearly didn't cheat that. They couldn't have a Nintendo off the shot here doing it. It was really easy to do.
Wait a minute. You're telling me that everything from my childhood is a lie?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's more or less
what this segment has done to your childhood, yes. No. So, the next one I want to talk... Sorry, Dave. So the next one was Bugs Bunny Birthday Blowout. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay. This is for Jesse specifically, since he and I know this game so well.
Wait, they're not going to give a score, are they?
No. Katie Tam, Tony Chang, and Kerry Wong all worked together to beat this really hard game. 3 people.
That I did in probably an hour cumulatively on YouTube.
3 people worked on this really hard game to beat it. Why would you need 3 people to beat this game? Like, do they specialize? One's really good at the desert and the cave, and one's really good at the forest and, like, whatever the first level is, like the grassy plains or whatever it is, and one's just really good at the Tasmanian devil knocking the footballs back into him. So, like, crazy.
I love the idea, actually, that all 3 of these people were, like, 35 years old, and they just, like, smoked a whole shitload of reefer and then just cranked up some cream on their surround sound and just sat around like, let's fucking beat Birthday Blowout today, man. We're gonna do it. Man, I'm so sick of everybody telling us that we're wasting our lives. Let's do something about it today. Nintendo Power is going to publish this shit, man. Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. This next score, Captain Skyhawk from Christopher Clark in Pinckney, I guess that's Michigan. Am I Michigan? I don't know my state abbreviation.
Yeah, that's Michigan.
The score is 236,607. And that sounds highly suspicious, right?
What game is
32,000?
236,607.
Oh, I didn't hear the 2 at the beginning.
Yeah.
I thought that seems reasonable.
It's Captain Skyhawk.
I can't independently confirm anything about that game. So
here's the thing about that score. The score is low, but it ends in a 7, right? So that'd make you suspicious. Like what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Truth be told, in that game, when you lose your last life, the score rolls upwards. It just randomly stops on a weird single digit. So that's just one that I want to point out that looks like a fake, but really that's just an embarrassing score that Christopher Clark never should have submitted because that's so pathetically low.
Fuck you,
well,
Christopher Clark.
It was.
Yeah, fuck you.
I hope you get prostate cancer.
Whoa, hey.
Whoa. Liver cancer, come on.
I don't like people who cheat at things.
All right. So, bearing in mind this Captain Skyhawk thing, I'm going to go to Disney's DuckTales, which is a game that, again, I think all 3 of us know fairly well.
Yeah, absolutely.
4 people worked hard to beat it in 7 hours.
No. This one, they're listing their money grabs. And Jordan... Diker, I guess his name is. Diker, I don't know. Doesn't really matter. From St. Catharines, Ontario, scored 16,080,009. And I know for a fact you guys know you cannot score a single digit in that game. So
that's kind of funny.
So is this just a misprint, a mistype of something, or is this like he's a cheater?
He's a cheater.
I'm gonna say that he's a cheater.
It's probably a little of both.
Yeah.
Someone in Nintendo Power can't type, and also he's a cheater.
All right. The next one that caught my eye because his name is Scott Looker. From Denmark, Wisconsin.
You should write
Make up
for
your
Michael
mind. Are you
Molly.
a state or a country? Playing the game Golf for the Game Boy. Thank you. We're talking about the original golf game. This is one of the first Game Boy games.
Now, you're supposed to submit a low score for that one, stupid.
Yes, he did. He scored 24 under, which is a 48. Total strokes was 48, so he was 24 under. Have you guys ever played golf on the Game Boy?
Yeah,
Never.
That's not happening.
Yeah, it can happen, though, because
without an insane amount of luck, I mean.
Well, in that game, though, if you turn the Game Boy off and turn it back on, the game autosaves to your previous shot, provided that other shot doesn't stop moving. So that guy, to get that score, since this is still pretty new in the Game Boy era, there was no way to cheat that, he would have sat there for like 3 weeks probably playing an hour a day where he just shut it off, turn it back on, and wait till he got like the perfect shot. Like
He just did he did the primitive equivalent of save scumming.
Yes, he did save scumming to get that. So it's not a cheat, technically, because it's within the programming of the game, but not within the sense of competitiveness. So, boo, Scott Looker. Boo!
I hope he gets liver cancer.
No, dude, prostate cancer. Come on.
Yikes.
You need to stop.
Although if these people are jerking it as much as their dumb names sound like they are, they're not. They don't have prostate cancer to worry about for a long time.
It's very true. It's very true. That will prevent it. That's your health tip for the week. So
at least 20 times a month, boys and girls. Well, boys.
Do with that.
Does not apply to ladies.
I don't know. There might be that special someone out there listening who has both parts.
And
this segment is sponsored by Activia Yogurt.
Thanks, JB Lee. So the last one I want to touch on was Super Mario Land for the Game Boy. And I'm going to run this by our resident expert in Dinky, Texas.
All right.
Tim Morgan of Valley Mills, Texas, scored 999,999. My question is, how long would it take to get that score, do you think?
Over under on how many times you have to beat the game to get a score like that?
Yeah.
I'm going, wait, 999,000?
Yep. 999, which I guess it maxes at? I don't know.
That's probably about 4 or 5 runs through the game.
Okay, so it's not completely unreasonable. It would have been like a good 2-hour block of his time.
No, but yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, that's going to do it for this. I just want to touch on a few of these scores. Some of them are amusing, some of them look ridiculously fake and aren't, and others, come on, you're a safe scummer. And that was
that last guy just needs a life.
Yeah.
And
that was the Nest
hope you don't
Achievers,
get...
super happy fun time, rooting your childhood Nintendo Power thing.
And it was fun and corny.
There we go.
And that runs straight into Jesse. You need drum roll. The Iron Sheik segment. Cue the song. It's time to read the best Iron Sheik tweets of the past 2 weeks.
Oh, that was me, Dave, but still, good.
All right. Well, now it is time. After you've heard that lovely song.
Well, before we begin this segment in earnest, I have to tell you a little story.
Okay.
About how the Iron Sheik has come to inform even the most mundane aspects of my life. I was at work the other day, and I was schlepping meat around, as I do, because it's my job.
It's true.
And I was carrying a case of ribs. They were frozen. And I dropped it, and they went clatter all over the floor. And my first reaction was not to bend down and pick them up, but to yell at them, "Sheiky baby, say fuck the dog shit!"
I honestly just thought you were going to just bust out a fucking.
So did I, actually. So, Jesse,
No, they just fell all over the floor, and I was like, "Sheiky baby, say go fuck yourself!"
By the way, Jesse, we never got you to say fucking, so feel free.
Oh, fucking!
Yeah! All right, let's kick this off Ultimate Warrior style.
All right.
Here is the Iron Sheik on the Ultimate Warrior.
A common enemy of the Iron
Ultimate Warriors live in the Florida and eat the dog shit and Taco Bell every day.
So eat the Taco Bell and the Taco Bell every day.
Yeah.
Low-hanging fruit,
exactly.
I had to.
Mm-hmm. It is always good. And Ultimate Warrior's mother call me, beg me to see my camel. I tell her, son is no good motherfucker.
I think I read that one.
This one was my favorite of the week. I'm going to go ahead and get it out of the way.
I have a question before you say this. Is this the one you retweeted?
No, it was not, actually. No, this one is my favorite of the week, though. Because I saw it and I was like, there's no way this is not going in the fucking Iron Sheik segment. I go to same doctor as the Hulk Hogan. And he say, Hulk have smallest dick in the world.
What I really love is that like Hulk Hogan's doctor went, after Hulk Hogan left, he goes, that dick's pretty small. I should do some research on this. Looked into it and goes, I knew it. It's the world's smallest penis.
Oh, I gotta tell the Iron Sheik about this.
I have to tell the Iron Sheik this is just ammunition that he needs right now.
I love the delivery, too. Like, the Iron Sheik needs a mic and a brick wall for that one. Hey, I go to the same doctor. He say, Hulk Hogan have small dick. Thank you.
Well, we all know that the Iron Sheik has a huge dick because of the YouTube video that I told everybody to go to. So, by comparison, I'm sure that it is small. From one dick to another, the Joe Biden have the Texas Chainsaw dick and have sex with the Kobe Bryant girlfriend.
So his dick's a chainsaw?
A Texas chainsaw, which Jesse knows all about. Is your dick a Texas chainsaw, Jesse?
It is.
Does it wreck that shit?
Nope.
The Texas chainsaw dick. Where the fuck does he come up with this?
I don't know. His marketing people come up with really good stuff to put on that, though.
And that's topical, too. Texas Chainsaw.
Don't you dare fucking say that this is the marketing, Brian. We had an agreement before this shit ever began.
Actually, no. You just told us that on the first podcast.
You're gonna
I make sure to mention it every time.
You're going to break kayfabe, Brian. You got to be careful.
Ooh.
Oh! Jesse's getting
Look who's doing the research!
No shit! Well done! Well done,
Shut
sir.
up, brother. You were such the jabroni.
Well, I can't take all the credit for that. That was just, I was clicking random page one day on Wikipedia, and kayfabe came up.
Oh, nice.
Well,
so you learned something pretty valuable.
I did.
I was going to say, actually, Jesse, I am legitimately impressed. That's pretty cool. This is the one that I retweeted that Brian was talking about. CNN is intelligent Jew. But everyone know you want the real news. You follow the Sheiky baby on the Friday, Bubba, or go fuck yourself. And the final one that I'm going to close with is literally the longest tweet I have ever read. On my iPhone, this was 4 full lines of text.
Whoa. Damn.
The Ron Rivera have the dog shit sex with the Geraldo Rivera and go on the show for the dog shit sex of the Mexican people happy together.
How much abbreviation is in that?
There's none.
Wow.
There's no. It is a full. I am not even joking. I'm actually going to copy and paste this and put it into Skype if I can figure this out. I can't. Yeah, here we go. All right. Boom. There you go. That is for you. And for the listeners out there, I urge you to follow the Iron Sheik at @the_Iron Sheik. Go do it.
Now, see, here's the thing. I just put this into Notepad. This is 169 characters.
I don't know how the hell he did it. I honestly don't.
What the hell?
I have no clue. It's legitimately
It's because he
on
have
there,
the
though.
Twitter dick.
I guess so.
Maybe his dick extends Twitter. I have no idea. I saw it, though, and I was like, wait a minute, that's one tweet? And I favorited it. It's going to be in my favorites forever. Because
Like,
it's
the longest
tweet
tweets I've ever seen are when, like, the 8-line long ones, when, like, Rob Delaney tweets a whole bunch of Japanese gibberish and then throws swollen in there.
Right. But this is just, like, pure, normal English text. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. I think that concludes the Iron Sheik segment. Jesse!
Fucking!
Yeah!
Booyah!
Good job on that. Good job.
I like how you always do the ending outro music live.
Well, it has to be, right? I mean, people expect a concert whenever they download this.
No, absolutely.
Well, I hate to tell them, but...
we got to give him a little bit of everything, right? I mean, yeah, it's like the opposite of going to see Charlie Sheen do stand-up. But so right now we are.
That's beyond low-hanging fruit. That's like a potato. My God.
I actually pulled that joke up.
The segments that we're going to start doing from here on out is we're going to introduce somebody to come on and be like, oh, hey, I donated money for Brian to go buy a bunch of hookers, because we all know his computer was fine. He just wanted hookers. But today...
You
used me, Sulfur! You used me!
For a good cause.
Hookers. But
hookers.
Canadian hookers, guys.
Oh, man. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I feel like that's a bad thing.
No, because all the maple syrup has rotted their teeth out. It's not too good.
I love maple syrup.
Delicious.
We're going to introduce this guy right now. KingKool!
KingKool?
What I need is a good French, cause I'm feeling... What?
Oh!
What's going on here?
It's Dr. Eyebaltron!
Hey, I've got a fan. I guess you've read my autobiography, Sights Held High.
Oh.
Yeah, it's on bookshelves now, at least on my bookshelf.
What are you doing? Am I missing a thing?
Hang on. You want to talk to the big guy, don't you? Hang on. Hey, get over here. It's a thing. Put down that website of ill repute.
What? I'm on IGN.
Yeah, I stand by what I said. Get over here.
Okay. Sorry about
Man.
that. He wants to go pwn some noobs. Yeah, I just realized we just left Jesse way behind.
A little bit, man.
Jesse doesn't know who Dr. Eyebaltron is. I'm so disappointed in him right now.
I am...
Don't worry about it. I can explain. Hello, YouTubes out there. I am KingKool. I used to hang out on GameFAQs with these guys. I have my own little YouTube channel where I've done a couple different things. I did a Machinima mini-series called Metal Gear Everlasting, which I'm still quite proud of. I did a parody of Is It a Good Idea to Microwave This, called Is It a Good Idea to Freeze This, which actually had Brian as a guest host. Yep. And currently I do the Toast Reviews, which is a deformation of just random movie reviews that I've done that have since taken that format. And in that format I have the inanimate players, which are just little action figures. Well, I have to cover their ears when I say this so they don't hear me. They're right here. They're in the shoebox over there. What were you saying? No, nothing. Go back to sleep.
I wasn't asleep.
He was pwning noobs.
They're quite sensitive.
Yes.
Yeah, they are.
I can't do the voice. That one's great, too.
Oh, Hero? I can't get him out here. Hey, what's going on here? Is this the internet? No, it's not the internet. Go back to sleep. No, I bring them out whenever I want to express how silly some scene in the movie is, so... Jesse, I'll give you some context for that later. Anyone else who's listening to this is clearly going to have no context.
Alright, yeah, because I'm so lost.
But so you can learn it, you go to KingKool 2099 and check it out. The inanimate players are the best.
Yeah, they have their own couple of miniseries I split off too, which are all very incredibly silly and kind of stupid.
I'm going to interrupt you and just say that going into this, I was completely blind to this, as Jesse was. I am completely enamored with this idea now. I'm dedicating the rest of my night to going on your channel and researching all of this. It sounds amazing.
Nice, thank you.
And I urge everyone listening, all you slaves out there, go and do it.
KingKool 2099
on YouTube's.
Although when I got called, when I got the shout out on the first podcast, and he said, "Hey, go subscribe to me," I didn't get a single subscriber. I haven't gotten a new one in kind of a while.
Are you kidding? That was like our best traffic episode. Yeah.
Well, I just nobody gets unless it's no longer notifying me when I get subscribers. I hover around 160, which I'm happy I have whoever I have, but that's never really been the point to get a huge thing. I mostly do Toast reviews to make certain I use my Netflix. That's the main reason of it.
It works very well.
Otherwise, it'll sit there for months, and I won't use it, and I'll be paying money for no reason.
Understand.
Kind of like
So
I am
I just
with
come up
Spotify now.
That's a lot of people do it. My brother at least some anime DVD for about 18 months. Just it sat on top of his computer for that long.
Yeah. That's more or less what our Netflix does. But we also use the instant streaming on the on the 360, which is always nice.
No, that definitely is. But since, I actually don't own any of the next-gen consoles, so I don't have a lot to say about video games, and these guys graciously said that I could pick a subject for my segment, and we'll try to do this quick, because we have been going on for a little while, and I think my, if I'm allowed to do a
I gotta say, this has
shout-out
been a
in
pretty
FU...
streamlined episode. We can probably... unbutton our pants for a little bit, if you will.
Yeah.
Possibly, but I'm always I can talk at length for a huge length of time, so I want to try to be disciplined, I suppose.
Be concise,
but
understandable.
So what I said was just for my segment, instead of talking about me and my accomplishments, which I basically summed them up in that one intro, that's pretty much my life.
Well,
so
honestly, I think your life's pretty badass because immediately I'm hooked. I need to know more about it.
Well, I'll show you afterwards. But so what I said was instead of talking about me, I wanted to propose a question to the three hosts of this podcast, which is the question I always say when I meet someone new, especially where I work. I have to work in a movie theater. If someone new comes in, I'll ask them as an icebreaker, "What's the worst movie you've ever seen?" And sometimes I addend onto it. Have you ever walked out of a movie? Now, I'll answer it last, but let's arbitrarily, Brian, you answer first, because, and actually, there's something I didn't get into about my show, is if I miss an episode, I do this thing called the penalty box, where I draw out of a very bad movie I don't want to see. Most recently, I drew Kangaroo Jack.
Yikes. Pretty harsh penalty.
And yeah, no, it can be. And Brian said, well, put Hope Floats in there. And he was saying that I thought it was a good movie. It's like, it's not that. It's that it's not universally hated enough. It's got like a 5.0 on IMDb, so it really isn't the right movie to put in the penalty box. I may just watch it. But maybe at the end of the podcast, I'll just draw out of the penalty box just for the hell of it, just for you guys.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
And we'll see what comes out.
So,
but, Brian, what would be your worst movie ever?
The worst movie I've ever seen... that I've seen. Now, I've seen some bad movies here and there, but usually there's some redeeming feature or something about them that's so goofy that you love it type of thing. But this movie is one that I swear to God, they took one half of a movie, like a horror movie, and they took one half of like a children's like story and just kind of rammed the two together and said, yeah, that'll make for a good movie. Let's do that. And that movie is Jeepers Creepers. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie. But
I haven't. I've heard of it.
It's been a long time.
It starts out with them like some scary truck honking on the road, and they end up going into this person's house, and they find like a torture room in the basement, whatever, and they manage to escape, and they're all scared. This thing, they're going to hunt them down, and that's the first half of the movie. That all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they introduce that whenever the song "Jeepers Creepers" is playing, that someone's about to die by this killer, and
that seems pretty easy to avoid, actually.
You'd think so, but the song miraculously pops up a lot in the rest of the movie, and people keep getting killed.
They're all like, who is singing that lovely chorus? And then they run out the street.
It reminds me of Dead Silence.
It's so stupid. They ram these two things together, and it has one redeeming feature, and if you don't want me to spoil the ending, then I can't tell you the one redeeming feature I found for the movie.
Go ahead, I'm never going to say it.
And spoilers for you people out there, just blank the audio or turn the volume down here for the next 20 seconds. But the redeeming feature for me was that the bad guy actually gets the main people and kills them. And at that time in horror movies, in the 90s, early 2000s, you didn't get that so much as you do now. That for me, that was kind of cool that they actually had that in there. That was the one.
And if you're familiar with Justin Long, you were probably rooting for him to get killed.
Oh, is he the one in that movie?
Oh yeah. That's his first, like, one of his first big movies.
That's where America came to awareness of Justin Long.
Wow.
I still haven't
If you didn't first become aware of him in Mac PC commercials, that is.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, don't even bring those up.
Okay,
ooh,
sorry.
My rage. My anger at those. And I use a Mac. I use a Mac and a PC. I don't actually use it to make touch reviews anymore because it's getting old, but, ooh, Walla Walla Bing Bang.
Yes. So that's mine, and I've never walked out of a movie. The only one I've ever considered it was Hope Floats, and it was too late to leave. So we stuck it out to the bitter, awful end.
That's it. I wish I could still say that. I'll get to that when I go. Zoop, how about you?
The only movie that I've ever walked out of, me and my grandmother both looked at each other and said, "This is a piece of shit," and then we walked out. And I was like, I don't know how old I was. I think the
Dave,
movie was from
Dave?
1990. Yeah.
What are you talking about? Backdoor Sluts 8 was a great movie.
Which you viewed in a theater, okay.
With his grandmother.
A theater.
I was going to say,
Theater.
well, we call it a spank bank, but whatever floats your boat. Whatever makes your hope float.
Oh, I get it.
But the movie was like a movie that my grandmother baited me into going to see as like an 8-year-old boy or whatever. I don't know. I might have been like 10 or something. I don't know. But it was Used People. And it was a horrible Shirley MacLaine dramedy from the early 90s. And I was so bored. And looking back, I have no idea what the film was about or anything. I just know that I was a 7-year-old at a Shirley MacLaine movie. And all I could say is all the popcorn and all the candy could not get me to sit the fuck down and wait for the end of that movie.
That
So
sounds
we
like
ended up-
one of those things I would have found in the video store when I was 12 and thought, interesting.
I have never heard of that movie. I have no idea what you're talking about. Which I'll say doesn't have to be. I'm not a movie buff necessarily, but that doesn't happen to me too often. Where I just hear one, where I'm like, I have no idea what you're even
Yeah,
talking
absolutely
pretty-
no clue what that movie is.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
guys, I'm going to quickly read you the storyline from it. At her husband's
Okay.
funeral, Pearl,
Excellent.
played by Shirley MacLaine, Jewish mother of 2, divorced and antagonistic daughters, meets an old Italian friend, Marcello Mastrioni, or Annie, I don't know his name, a friend of her husband, whose advice years previously had stopped the husband leaving home. For 23 years, he, now a widower, had secretly loved Pearl, and then it goes into ... So, yeah, that sounds like a terrible, just awful thing for an 8-year-old to watch.
Why would you take a 7-year-old to go see that shit? It's like, hey, you want some free popcorn? Grandma wants to go see a movie. And I'm just like, I'm fat. Free popcorn. Let's go, bitch.
You know what my grandmother took me to see? The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I had
that.
a nice grandmother.
I've not seen that either.
It's,
The Disney one?
I've never
Yeah,
seen it
no.
either, no.
It's one of their darker ones, actually.
Well, I know Tony J voices Judge
Yes, I
Frollo,
love
and I'm
his
a big
voice.
fan of him. His voice is like, oh, hellfire! You know, it's like that. It's really
Frollo,
great. I should
Virgil,
really see it.
Megabyte.
The
Yes.
worst movie I've ever seen.
And the Elder God.
I really love bad movies, though. I mean, I'm the type of guy. Some of my favorite movies are The Room, and Ricky-O, and Guyver 2.
Ricky-O
and
is
stuff like
great, and I will not hear a slanderous word against it.
I completely agree. It's amazing. I fucking love that movie.
Those are movies that are so bad they're good category, though, Dave.
You know, definitely.
But
well, it's
the
when I just say the worst movie ever, and like one that just if you thought about the title, it would just cause like nails on the blackboard in your mind. What's the first thing that would hop to your head?
Well,
I say that.
I don't know. I like most of everything that I see. Either my standards are really low, or I screen my shit before I see it really well. But the other day, I was just sitting around idly, and I decided, oh, I'm going to watch a movie. Let's see what's on demand. And I made the mistake of watching Tower Heist. The
Oh.
Ben Stiller,
Oh, that's supposed to be bad.
Eddie Murphy abortion.
Ugh.
Ugh.
And
I avoided that one.
yeah, I was sitting there and I was all like, how bad could it be? I mean, it's bound to be really stupid, but let's see where it goes. And I feel raped. I can't. No matter what I do, I'm in the shower and I can't get clean.
Well,
I'll just point out.
hopefully
I
there was a
avoided-
tower and there was a heist, so...
There
no,
was
I
a
think there
tower, and they put a car in an elevator, and
Cool set
It's been a
piece,
small
I guess.
car.
and the car was made out of gold. That's the reveal.
Oh, for fucking real? Like the monster car from Speed Racer?
Oh my god, Tower Heist has to go in the penalty box.
No, I could watch that one voluntarily, I'm sure. And I'll point out, I didn't see Tower Heist, and I went and saw Alvin and the Chipmunks 2 The Squeakquel. So, I have a pretty big tolerance for bad kids movies, though. So.
Well, bad kids movies you can
I watched
understand
Alvin and
because
the
it comes
Chipmunks
from
2
the
The
heart.
Squeakquel. I watched the Squeakquel at my mom's for Christmas one year because I was just sitting there, and well, her grandkids were there, right? So they're sitting there and they're watching it, and I'm just downing vodka like crazy, just like fucking. I hate everything. Fucking little chipmunks on the TV singing, and I want them to die. I'm just sitting there, just hate fucking the movie, basically, with my eyes. And in the end, I learned a thing or two about myself. What about you, Jesse?
What did you learn? How much vodka you can drink before you vomit?
Yes.
How much I can drink before I just absolutely
Blackout.
put away all bad memories forever.
I'll just point out real quick before we go to Jesse. That's another movie with Justin Long in it. He's the voice of one of the Chipmunks. I forget which one. I think he's the voice of Simon. So we're gonna have a connecting.
How can you
piece
tell
Justin
with
Long.
all the?
There's no point in having celebrity people voice them. They have 3 celebrity people voice the Chipettes too.
Oh.
They have like Christina Applegate and Anna Faris and one other lady.
I love Anna Faris, but she's an awful actress.
She's good when she does her own thing. I really actually like the House Bunny, but it's just because she just charms the shit out of me. So I make no excuses.
I
for
actually
it.
reviewed the House Bunny for IGN. True story. That's weird that you mentioned that one. I thought it was decent. It's fine.
It's a movie for guys, is what it is.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's fine.
Jesse, how about you?
Okay, I'm sorry, just before you go on to this, the 3 Chipettes are Christina Applegate, Anna Faris, Amy Poehler.
Amy Poehler, that was the other one.
Jesus.
What?
Yeah. What? There's no point in when you speed them up; they all sound the same.
Yeah.
And for the 3 Chipmunks, it's Jesse McCartney, Matthew Gray, Gubler, and Justin Long. I don't know who Gubler or McCartney are.
Jesse McCartney's a singer, but otherwise, and I don't think he actually sings when they sing, which is the dumbest thing ever.
Fantastic.
Yes. Who even knows?
Jesse,
All right,
what's
Jesse.
yours?
Well, before I do mine, I have to ask Dave, what's your feeling on David Cross in those movies?
He got an easy paycheck. That's my feeling of it.
Good for him, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's in those, too. Dear Lord.
Yeah.
Yes,
I know,
all
and
three.
he seems to go to
3?
great lengths in public to justify being in those movies, when really all he has to say is, Shakespeare got to get paid, son.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't have any issue with it.
Okay, I was just
By
curious.
the way, I interviewed David Cross one day, and
I
he
remember
was
that.
really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Anyways,
Seems like it.
yeah,
All right, well,
go-
I actually have 2 discrete answers, worst movie and movie that I walked out of. The worst movie I ever saw, I was 17 years old. This was about 2001, I think. I don't know if anybody remembers the movie Sweet November with
Yes, I do. Oh, I know this
Keanu
one.
Reeves and Charlize
Yeah.
Theron.
Yes,
I was
and
with
she's like terminally
I
ill or
was
something?
with 7 people. I was the only male, and I was really hoping one of them would think that it was great that I was there with them. It was a misguided high school move to get some easy action.
You were trying
And
to
I
get
sat
your
through
dick
the
wet.
whole fucking thing.
That's so cute.
I mean,
You know, it's adorable. I was actually going to say get his dick slick, but dick wet is probably better. All right.
no, there was no
Wedding of your tool?
what?
So, were you trying to bet all 6 of them and just give them all only 3
There
inches
was-
apiece?
There was no dick
We
wedding
need to
that
ration
night.
this, guys.
There was no dick wedding that night that was instigated by a third party, sadly. But the movie that I walked out of is, and this actually made me swear off horror movies forever, unless they were sufficiently like jokey enough. The Hills Have Eyes, the remake.
Oh,
I could not get through it.
By-
I felt like a horrible person. I think I didn't leave. I didn't leave soon enough to get my money back. I was like an hour in or so, and I knew I wouldn't be getting a refund if I asked for it. So I just went and sat in the lobby until my friends were done. I did sit through the Emily de Ravine scene.
I've never seen it. I'm at least familiar
The zombies
with it.
rape
I know the director. Well, I was familiar with that. It's just awful.
Okay.
I do not watch horror movies at all.
me
Yeah,
either.
I generally
I-
can't do it unless
I'm a
they're like light toned enough.
And
Like I
and-
can't do things like Saw and stuff like that, where it's really serious and gritty.
But that's not horror. That's gore. That's a whole other, in my opinion, that's a whole other category. Because I grew up with like Friday the 13th and stuff like that, where that's horror, but there was a bit of blood and whatever. But I mean, that's nothing compared to what passes for horror nowadays.
In the movie industry, we classify that as torture porn.
Torture porn. Okay.
Yes.
There we go.
No, and you know what the thing is? I keep seeing trailers for things. It's not even a horror movie, but it's like Fallen Skies or something with Kerry Russell, and it's like, once you're chosen, there is no escape. Or there was like Sinister, was like, once you see it, there's no helping you. Whatever happened to hope? Even when it was friggin' Jason Voorhees, the 8-foot-tall maniac who gets superpowers when he listens to people fuck. Like, you could get away from him, you could stop him, you could freeze him with liquid nitrogen, you could throw him in a pool or something. There was hope. Now it's just 5 people go someplace, they disappear, they're never heard from again. What the bloody
Chernobyl Diaries.
That had Liv Dudley, who does 5-second films, and she's extraordinarily beautiful. And like, if she ever hears this, I will die of embarrassment, maybe. But no, I didn't see it. But I'm just like, I know I would have heard if she had got naked in it, and I never heard. So I'm just like, nope, no point.
Nice. That's a great reason for not seeing a movie.
I agree.
Well, no, it's more just that also, it's not even that I would sort of want to. It'd be sort of like seeing Kristen Bell naked. It's sort of like, it's like seeing a swan without its feathers or something. It's just like, this is just weird. Like, it's not even that you think of it in a totally sexual thing. It's just
a swan without
majestic.
its
That's
feathers. That's going to be the thing that I direct next.
Guys, I just put forward that's the title of the podcast.
A swan
without its feathers.
Sure.
I'm down.
I come up with stupid metaphors all the time. I'll get to my thing in a second, but actually, I'm trying to help my father make a basketball video, and he's trying to tell me the format of the video that it's coming from, and my father doesn't even know how to use Microsoft Word, and eventually, I was running out of time to do something, so I sort of said, I'm like, Dad, okay, trying to get technical details out of you, and I swear to God I said this, is like trying to get South American capitals out of a tortoise, okay?
It works.
I was basically just like, it's like, just give it to me, I'll make it work. Like, but you don't have to try to figure out. It's almost like hearing, like, Bob Dole talk about Nintendo.
Bob Dole likes to Super Mario Brothers. Bob Dole. Bob Dole.
Bob Dole.
Bob Dole.
Bob Dole.
All right, here's mine. In 2001, I walked out of the only movie I've ever walked... Now, I've stopped movies at home. I stopped Gia, but maybe I'll get back to that someday. But there's a different contract when you're sitting there watching it and when you're in a movie theater.
Right.
I walked out of the only movie I've ever walked out of in my entire life, and you guys might not believe this. Rat Race.
Really?
I believe it. I didn't like that movie.
What happened in Rat Race was it was not very good at the beginning. It's so broad, which is fine. I could have put up with it, and also I quickly figured out that Rowan Atkinson was not going to win. He's the only character I even close to liked.
Yeah, same here.
But then, about the 45-minute mark, 50-minute mark, there's a scene with a woman in a helicopter with maniacal, sadistic glee taking out this guy, and it's just like, this is... no, not Jerry O'Connell. The guy from Garfield.
It's not Jerry O'Connell in the pool?
Breckenmeyer.
Well, I don't know if maybe he's in the pool, but it's Breckenmeyer.
Yeah,
the guy
but Jerry O'Connell's the one in the pool getting attacked by this psychotic blonde woman. I remember that.
Oh, is he? Okay, but to me, like, that was just so anti-funny. I was just like, I'm just getting punished here, and, like, this is just so...
Stupid.
Not funny. Like, it's... Well, if it had been a little lighter, it was so... down. I was just like, no. I never. And okay, like I was 17 when I saw that. It was
mean-spirited.
There's a lot of
it was just too much, and I was like, I'm out of here. I'm like, I can't put up with this. I know he's not going to win, so to hell with it. And
they made him do that embarrassing.
I've been kicking myself.
Too, so. No. That was John Lovitz. My bad.
Yeah, John Lovitz did the Hitler joke.
I didn't even catch that. I got out there before. Though I heard that probably wouldn't have bothered me. It's just, and I've been kicking myself ever since I did it because I'm just like, I can now never say
the plight of Jews
that I
doesn't
never walk out of
bother
a
you?
movie.
You sick fuck.
I didn't see it. I saw the
Your only defense is I didn't
see them
see it.
go into the concentration camp.
I didn't see the concentration
I didn't
camps.
see. He's over there.
Anyway.
He's behind the curtain. He doesn't bother me none.
I do have one question.
Hitler.
I have one serious question though. Did you see the squirrel lady in the movie?
Kathy Najimy.
I don't think so. I don't think I got up before
Okay.
that.
No. There was one.
No,
never mind. There wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say that's one of those that people love to point out as being really funny, but it's like, no, that's just even more vindictive and stupid. So yeah, no.
Oh, good lord.
Although
Okay.
I do credit
I'll point
Rat
out.
Race with teaching me the term prairie dogging.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, well, this is that. I mean,
That
hey,
is the redeeming
part was
feature of that
okay.
movie.
Yeah. Now, this led me to then sitting through what I think would have to be the candidate. I don't have a worst movie ever, but I have like 6 second worsts, which could just move up and down. But the one I always think of when I do it is a movie that I sat through and just got punished by and just had a big thing of wet concrete poured on me, and I'm just sitting there like they took away all my blood. I'm like, ah. And that was actually... I was talking about the GameFAQs boards once, and Peter L90
50.
said that it was his second favorite movie of all time.
I vaguely recall this,
point.
actually. What's the movie?
Yeah. And he and the funny thing was I was not even going to argue. I'm just like, that's great. I'm glad that someone I like loves this movie. And the movie is John Q.
Oh,
And
yeah, not a great
since
movie.
Since this is, it's just so, I don't want to get even political, but it's just so stupid, this movie, and it thinks it's smart, and it thinks it's being fair, and it's all this, it's like, ugh. Like,
Yeah,
I
that
can
was a
recall
really
that movie
misguided
with such... Yeah, misguided's a good word. I can remember so much of that so clearly, and I've only seen it just the once, in 2001, 2, was it? I think it was 2, because I was going to see Lord of the Rings the same day, and then I just went home. I'm like, oh, fuck this. I would have saw that. I'm not sitting for 3 more hours of elves doing stuff.
Just so you know,
But,
I have nothing to add to that, but I just wanted to say fuck Peter L90. Because he beat me in fantasy football.
Okay, that's fine then.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm about to say, you can't say that.
My team name in fantasy football is I really hate Peter.
Wow.
And it's and the picture is a picture of Peter with a big red circle and a cross through it.
Damn.
And he's pointing his fingers out like the Ghostbusters 2
hold on.
logo.
Exactly.
Dave, I have a question. The name of this team is I Really Hate Pete?
No, I really hate Peter.
See, that's a lie. You don't hate Peter.
Oh.
But maybe next year it'll be I really love cock, but I still really hate Peter.
That's a really long name. Go for
That's
it.
a really long name. I don't know what my 4-letter abbreviation would be for that, but I don't know. Maybe just cock. Cock. That'd be pretty good. Okay, guys. So now we need to decide, because we're running a little late. We need to decide which of these topics we are going to do up. For KingKool, did you choose a old school game for us to talk about?
Yeah, we can do it in about 2 minutes, I think, just because I don't want to bring
That's
up...
fine. We'll go ahead and we'll bump the listener question to next time.
Yeah.
Okay.
That works.
Yeah.
So, all right.
And I'll bring up this one real quick, just because, and I don't even know if it's a game any of you three have ever played, but my classic game for my appearance on this podcast is The Incredible Machine.
I knew you were going to pick it. Yes, 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 yes!
It just seems pretty obvious. I was thinking about picking Mario because I'm in the middle of a Super Mario 64 race, and you guys are playing it. But I'm just like, I could have picked Who Shot Johnny Rock, but it's not really a very good game. But The Incredible Machine was a game that I got on Christmas, same time as my brother got Monopoly, the CD-ROM board game, which is also pretty sweet.
You won big.
By the
It
way.
is, actually. I really like that version of Monopoly, I can't lie.
It's just lots of fun. And we had a demo disc with tons of Sierra stuff on it. It had the demo for Shivers and Dr. Brain and other stuff, and it had the one for Incredible Machine, and then we got it for Christmas, and I played the hell out of that game. It's probably one of my favorite of all times. I have an FAQ for it, and if I ever do get into LPing, like I'm sort of inching into LPing on the Something Awful boards, if I ever do it, I would love to do a long, like, luxurious look at all the puzzles in that game, and that would be like a life's LP achievement thing for me.
I thought about doing that one.
With my other video projects, I sort of take up a lot of my time, so I haven't really had the gumption to do it. But it's a puzzle game where you build little things. You have a little guy named Mel, and he goes and walks around, and you can get him to his house, and there's cats, and there's balls and gravity and all this other stuff. It's
balls
just
are
look up
there,
videos.
so
I
Dave
have a
is
video on my
sold.
channel.
I do love
Yes.
balls.
Yes.
God, we're just fucking 12-years-olds.
Yeah, pretty much,
Hey.
yeah.
Doesn't bother me. Now, if I can take this to make a short, a brief interruption, it's now time for that game show that's sweeping the nation. How loud is this chip? Today on the show we have Wise Dipsy Doodle's Wavy Corn Chips. Let's have complete silence for this crunch.
Not very.
I would go with a 7 out of 10.
I was going to think about a 7, 7.5. It's decently loud. It's not
I'm going
like
to be the meanie
ear-shattering
and give it
or
a 6.
Oh.
Alrighty, there we go.
Oh, okay, Simon Cowell. Jesus.
I never get to do that anymore, so I was like, okay, I'm bringing it back just for this one time.
I enjoyed
Awesome.
it. I
Nice.
appreciated it.
That's
And
awesome.
the Incredible Machine you can actually get for your modern computer. They have it on.
I heard
They
there's
have it
like
on
an iPhone version
goodoldgames.com.
Oh, well, okay. I will say, not to bring the podcast down a bit, but okay, I don't use Good Old Games just because, and if my understanding is incorrect, I will fix it. But they said they were going to go out of business, and then they sort of didn't because they were trying to bump up their people who knew about them. And I'm like, I'm sorry, you're not getting any more of my, you're not getting any of my lucre if that's the way you
true,
did that.
That's just.
So they
that's
basically lied about
okay.
going out of business.
And to get what you call it. And this is why I tell people this. Now, if it doesn't bother you, it doesn't bother my brother. He goes out and buys stuff, but I'm like, yeah, I will rather buy for $49 a CD of Heroes 2 that might be scuffed to living hell than buy it for $5 on Good Old Games.
Heroes 2,
But-
man, you're just striking arrows through my heart today, man.
Heroes
Loving
2
it.
was awesome. That was
The
I almost
Cupid
picked
arrows,
it, but
not the actual arrows.
oh jeez, yes, those
Right,
go in
yes.
the knee.
Yeah, exactly.
They
Yes.
do, it's true. That is one thing that I know about arrows.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What was that? A really bad Oblivion meme joke or something?
Yes.
I try sometimes. I've never played it, so.
I don't know.
Wait.
You may have to get off my podcast forever.
Oh, I'll go in the basement. I'll put on Tube Guy instead.
He doesn't.
Hey,
Hey, tube guy.
my voice can change. Okay, Tube Guy goes away. Nobody likes Tube Guy. He knows
Tube
that.
guy sucks.
I can still hear you. Yeah. So what?
My voice can change.
Okay.
Any other memories of the Incredible Machine, Jesse?
I played it once at one of Casey Patton's birthday parties. That's how I.
Oh, I love
Learned
Casey.
about it.
Give
Yeah,
him
he
the-
had the
Is
game.
that
He
Steve
had the
Patton's
Incredible
first
Machine 3.0, which is the apex of the series.
Yes, that's the one I bring it up in general, but that's the one I would do the LP of, and that's one I have an FAQ
Yeah,
of.
it's the
and it is
easiest
my
one to
favorite
get
entry
running.
by a
It's
mile.
just the best looking and sounding one in general. It's got the Red Book audio. It is a cool game, and if you have no personal beef with Good Old Games, you should go get it.
Yes, yeah. I mean, if it doesn't bother you, go do it.
I mean, that's
I'd
pretty
rather
low,
people
but I
play
don't
it,
think it'd keep them
whatever.
from giving me my money. It's just like that one of those finger. Come on, you guys.
Wagon things. Yeah.
Like, how could you do that? Okay, here's my money.
Oh,
Yeah,
you.
basically.
Oh, you.
People do a lot worse things in the name of money. So,
Sure. Trust me, I know.
buh.
So,
But
so
you enjoy all
anyway,
that.
guys, I can actually segue 3 things here all into one thing. Okay?
Do it.
So, number 1, talking about the worst movie you've walked out of, whatever else. I can tell you the worst video Round the Wheels ever walked out of. Casey Patton had him watch a certain video, and the third one was, people will do anything for money. Well, in this video, it was 2 girls, 1 cup.
That
And-
is
Oh, dear.
fucking old, dude.
And if you people have never seen that video, we gotta link that. It's Round the Wheel trying to watch it, and he's just like, oh my god. And he's like, watching, he's like, almost throwing it. He's like, oh my god, no, screaming and like pointing at the laptop, screaming incoherently to shut it off.
That was some sick shit.
I'm sure it was. I've never seen it, but I put 3 things together in one there. I am the master of the sideways segue. Just saying.
And you're gonna have me for making an old Oblivion joke, and you're like, are you gonna make a joke about where's the beach now or something? Are you gonna make a joke about Mr. T ate my balls? Where are you going now?
The point is, I was tying things together, and it involves Round the Wheel, and people could go point and laugh at him. I believe it's on
Well,
Casey Patton's channel, C Patton 520.
Yeah,
It
which
is
is
true.
still amazingly getting subscribers at a positive net rate.
Yeah,
That's funny. That is definitely funny. Speaking of getting subscribers, guys, what are you guys doing for talk-throughs, let's plays, whatever the fuck you want to call them?
I just got over a pretty bad round of sinus infection and grossness that came right after the holiday. So I haven't done a lot of regular stuff recently, but I'm doing Crystal Caves and Seiken Densetsu 3 at the moment.
Nice.
What about you, Brian?
I am doing Super RPG for some donator to the cause of the computer. I'm not sure who, but it's KingKool. And I'm also working on Minecraft to the End in fits and starts. There's some little fan-made game called I Want to Be Like Brisulph. And that's about it. People are enjoying I Want to Be Like Brisulph, I'd have to say. The hits have been encouraging for it. People were pretty divided on the second boss I fought. The Killer Instinct
I
Glacius.
saw that. It was like a huge flame war. Some people were calling for Yo Sniper's head, which I thought was a little unfair.
It was very unfair. I even said so afterwards. And I said that
What
I liked the boss. I guess you haven't seen it yet. I get pretty irate with Yo Sniper over what I see as a boss design flaw. And some people are like, "Oh, that guy's easy. I beat him first try." And other people are like, "Yeah, this is unforgivable. Yo Sniper should be raped by 50 dog dicks." And
dead dog dicks, get it right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not from Iran. I don't know how these conversion rates work. Okay.
But yeah,
anyway,
I was on there, and some guy was all like, "Oh, everybody wants to be a game designer, and some people can't do it, and this is clearly somebody who should have stopped doing it." Bip, bip, bip. And I'm just like, well, what the fuck have you done with your life?
And not even that, Dave. These people haven't seen I Want to Be Like Zoop. If you look at the advancement from there to 2 years later, it's night and day.
It really
I Want to
is.
Be Like Brisulph is actually a pretty reasonably put together game. It's definitely an above average I Want to Be fan game.
Exactly.
Multiple characters, weapons. It's cool. I'm really enjoying it. I've shot through video 8 so far. I've rescued Zoop. That's video 7. Spoilers.
Oh man.
But
I think a certain somebody did voice acting.
Yeah, somebody did. KingKool, you did an amazing Zoop impersonation.
I tried. It's true. Let's hear it. Actually, do a funny voice of me. I like it.
Hang on. Let me just go find a player maybe who can.
Hi, I'm Zoop.
Oh no, I'm Batman.
No, we're not.
Double Batman. No.
Where are the drugs? Tell me. Yes, we don't know who Zoop is.
Oh no. Oh my god, I didn't know I was the case.
Is Zoop a type of soap? Because we like soap.
Oh no!
Okay, putting him back.
I love it.
Double Batman and Dr. Eyeboltron have had some wonderful conversations.
Yeah, they make a
They
big
do.
team. Which is why I didn't put either of them in the basement when I did the thing. Spoilers to that. But then I realized that I almost don't have any others that make a lot of conversations. I'm like,
KingKool, what are you doing for the YouTubings?
Well, okay, obviously I still do Toast reviews just every week. And I actually forgot about my other show, Forthright, which is on my Blip page, which every month, the fourth day of the month, I review the fourth part of a movie series in 4 minutes. But you guys have no idea how close I was to quitting, because on the third day I just kept running into problems, because I tried to change up the format. I'm trying to find one that really works. And I was, it was like 3 o'clock on the day before I had to go up. I didn't have it recorded. I just had some pictures. I'm just like, maybe that will just be the year that I did it, and then it will be over. And then I got away from it for a minute, for like an hour, came back to it and finished it, and now I'm still doing it. So, yay for not quitting something after only a year.
Woo!
It's pretty big deal.
And
well, it was. That's the thing is, there's so many video series out there with so much just, I did this and then I'm big on consistent updates, or at least if it's not an update, then it's like, look, okay, I know I don't have an update, that's why I have the penalty box to basically stop me to do it. As far as the LPs, it's all on the horizon, it's way far off, so nothing I would really announce just yet, although I may have a different show coming up soon, but I don't want to talk about that just yet.
I got you.
Since I brought up the penalty box, do you guys want me to draw from it right now?
Do it!
Yeah.
All right. I don't have a bowl right now, so I'm using an empty box of Cheez-Its.
Well, I mean, tomato.
Yeah. And you guys think I'm kidding, but no, I really am. Because I don't have a bowl.
Hey! If there's one thing I didn't think, it was that you were kidding.
Yeah. All right. I drew out one of the lots. Let's find out what it is. I have a razor pen to cut it open.
I love that all this is happening live.
I'm big on doing things live. Okay.
Fuck it, we'll do it live!
The movie I drew was The Master of Disguise.
Oh, that's so bad!
Oh.
Hey, true story. That was mine and Val's first date movie.
Wow.
For real.
No shit.
What are you? Did you think she was like 10 years old or something? Were you trying to pick up the strange Catholic girl or something? What's going on here?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I wanted something inoffensive that we could basically make out to. and Dana Carvey doing a bunch
Dana
of...
Carvey's bald head
Dana
is just
Carvey-
delicious.
Dana Carvey...
Yeah, can you make out to Brent Spiner farting at you?
Lord
Well,
knows
I've
I
never
can't.
actually seen it, so...
I do love Dana.
I've heard he farts a lot in it.
Wow.
Oh, Brent
I'm gonna add that to
Spiner.
my Netflix queue now. I guess.
Although Brent Spiner was good recently in his Warehouse 13 arc, if y'all watched that show.
Val is
I've
huge
never
on
seen
Warehouse 13.
That's a great show.
so You nerds will have to get together and nerd it up. Ugh.
Ugh, bleh.
Oh, nerds. As for my talk through thing, I tried recording last night and it went so awesome, and then Dazzle ate it. So we'll get around to that as I figure it out, I guess. But either way, a really good solid 30-minute chunk of time right down the shitter. So
But I've got some good news. The Master of Disguise is on Instant, so I get to watch it tonight instead of doing things like things.
Curing
Anything.
prostate.
ever.
I like how
anything-
you
any-
allow
Or
your
liver
life.
cancer.
I like how you allow your movie watching life to be, controlled by a whim.
Administrated by wackiness.
Even if it means suffering by watching Master of Disguise, you take your
oh
lumps.
god,
Well-
that's so bad.
I'll be honest, the penalty box doesn't have any movies that I'm just like, no, absolutely not. There's 7 movies that I know of that would consist of what I would call the super penalty box. I'll tell you one of them. One of them is My Sister's Keeper. You couldn't get me to watch that movie with wild horses, okay?
My wife loves that
I don't care
But
what
what
you
about
do.
tame horses?
For a second, I thought you were talking about The Other Sister, which should also be in the box, and which my wife also loves.
Well, I remember you mentioned that once in the Jackrabbit review from the other channel, I think. From back in the before times, in the long, long ago.
Man, people remember the weirdest stuff. Like, I don't remember anything about my videos, and people are like... That's why I never get it when Brian is doing the classic moments. He's like, name a classic moment, and they're like, oh, man, this. I don't remember things from, like, that long ago. That's...
I remember that randomly, but, I mean, I also... remember that, like, Crystal Caves was one you were doing right then, and I actually was like, oh, I've only played the first episode. I'm probably not going to watch episode 2 or 3, because I would like to play them, because I actually bought them when I thought 3D Realms was going out of business. And then the channel went away, and I'm like, oh, I guess that's no longer a problem.
Well, I'm glad it worked out for you.
The strangest thing, Jesse, to ping back to that, I never remember anything from my videos either. And on multiple occasions, I've had people come up to me in person and go, Zoop! And I just, I turn around and I'm like, oh, fuck, what's this going to be? And I turn around and I'm like, hi, how's it going? And then they say something that I said, and they're like, I hope you die from prostate cancer or something. And I'm all like, oh, okay, thanks. And they're like, no, I'm just joking. That's something that you said in your video. I love it. And I'm just all like, oh, okay,
Bet
thanks.
you're wishing you hadn't said that now.
I'm like, I said that? Wow, I'm really not funny. Okay, thanks. But it's we need to wrap this up, guys. Shout-outs. Fuck yous. KingKool, you're up first. You're the guest host, so you need to do things that I tell you.
Yes. My shout-out is to my friends at loadingreadyrun.com, who do sketch comedy. They do all sorts of stuff. They've now branched into just a bunch of video series, like 4 series a week. They do Loading Ready Run, which is sketch comedy, Unskippable, which is riffing and video game cutscenes, Checkpoint, which is satirical video game news, and Feed Dump, which is just silliness about the news.
Very nice.
And they put up a video a long time ago called High Noon, which was shot on a green screen, and then they put up the video where it had the green screen taken out. So I took that video and recut it into a different sketch, like an old silent movie, because it was supposed to be like a western, And that was the first thing I ever put up on YouTube, and that's what got me started.
Hey, that's fun.
Big shout-outs to them. I suppose my screw yous of the month, I'll boulderize it to screw you because it really isn't that angry, but my screw yous of the month are, at my job, I work in a movie theater, and occasionally I'm the guy who has to tear the ticket. And people will come up to me with one less ticket than they should have. They should have two. They only have one. And I'm like, you got to have 2 tickets. They show me the receipt that they have in the credit card. It says, look, I bought 2 tickets. It's like, I can't explain this to them, but it's like, hey, you can hand it off to 2 other people. They get in with that, and you get in with the 2 tickets, and we lose 2 sales. That doesn't prove it. I need the ticket.
Well, you know what you tell them? You tell them, okay, well, if you can't find it, it's probably in your ass. So please bend over while I go get my gloves and no lubricant.
This is why Dave has never had a retail job in the public sphere ever, ever, ever.
It absolutely
You must have a little more decorum to work for anything. We work with people.
A little more
and
coof.
I'll just be like, look, it's like I need them. We count the stubs, so it's important that we find it. And it's like the ticket is always in one of 3 places. It's tied up with your change in your wallet, wherever. It was dropped at the stand, or it was dropped at the box office. And they're like, oh, and it's like they will say the thing that drives me nuts. This is all she gave me. No, it isn't. That thing will always print out the right number of tickets. If it runs out in the middle of it, they'll fill it back up and they'll print that ticket. It is never, 100% of the time, it is one of those 3 places, and then they come back and they'll be like, occasionally they'll be like contrite and they'll be like, look, sorry about that. And I'm like, hey, look, I gotta do my job. And some people will then just hand me the ticket without saying a thing. Or if you're an old guy from, what was it? I think it was yesterday. Maybe it was Saturday.
So long
He comes
ago.
in and then he's like, yeah, well, hey, I worked a lot this weekend. So he walks up to me and he's like, after you hand me the ticket, he's like, you really think I'm going to steal a ticket, cost of a ticket? And I really just wanted to stop him. He was like 70. I just want to stop him. It's like, hey, look, you don't friggin', you're the one who don't have a ticket. All of a sudden, I can just take your ticket and just crumble it and be like, look, you can't get by without a ticket. How would you like that?
Yeah, no shit.
Friggin', no, screw this guy. And especially because he had the hearing aid, headphones that was like, oh, that's going to cause problems because those things never friggin' work. So, that's my.
He's just going to turn it off
screw you
anyway.
to that guy.
KingKool, I will say, if you would have crumpled up the ticket on him and said something to him, the way you said that just reminded me of something Ben Stiller would do in a movie. I don't know why. That's such a Ben Stiller action.
I would never actually.
I don't have a ticket. You know what I mean? Like that's just a Ben Stiller.
Let's go put this car in this elevator.
That was some uncannily good.
I don't
Ben
know
Stiller.
if I would actually have the nerve to do that.
What about you, Jesse? What is your shout-out fuck you scenarios of the week?
Let's see. Shout-outs, and I came unprepared again. My shout-outs and my fuck yous. My fuck you is probably to Bravo, because I get the angriest at them every time I land on them while channel surfing. Because
why is that?
It's just their programming, you know? Bravo is the easiest way to make me angry.
I would say the Learning Channel would be the easiest.
That's a good one. That's a good one. But I actually found myself watching Honey Boo Boo without hating myself the other day. So.
Oh God, you're.
I'm getting dangerously close to the stupid person precipice here.
Yeah, that is no kidding, man. What about your shout out?
My shout out goes to Hot Wings because I'm craving them and I can't have them because I'm Poe.
Why would
Wingstop
that be a shout out?
especially, Wingstop in particular.
Why would that be a shout out though? That sounds like it should be a fuck you. Like, hey, you're making me hungry. Fuck you.
Well, it's my own fault, first of all, and second of all,
for possessing a stomach.
Yeah, exactly. And second of all, it's just I love their ranch so much.
From one fat guy to another, let's go to Canada.
I know you don't
Brisulph.
I know you don't like ranch dressing, so.
Not me neither.
I do not.
Whoa! What is this un-American bullshit? We got 2 pinkos in here who don't like ranch dressing.
True story.
I don't like ranch anything. I don't like ranch Doritos. I don't like ranch anything.
Now see,
ranch
like
is beautiful because it is the most American thing. It is sour cream and lard with spices.
The most American thing is Sarah Palin riding a camel with a firearm and a cigar in her mouth. I'm making this up as I go along. I got no
It's pretty
clue.
good. It beats mine.
Well, I was going to say, right off the top of your head, yeah, that sounds pretty American to me. Let's go from one fatty to another. It's coast to coast. Up top, to America's hat in Canada, Brisulph.
Well, My shout-out of the week is to Justin Bieber. Now, bear with me on this. My shout-out to him
I think I know this one.
is for smoking weed. It's the first cool thing he's ever done. The fuck you of the week for me goes out to Justin Bieber's fans who were all disappointed in cutting themselves that he smokes weed. He hangs out with rappers. What the fuck do you think he does?
I thought you were going to shout out to him because I read in the paper today that there's a little girl who had like leukemia. She's 7 years old. She couldn't go to the concert, and he went and visited her.
No, fuck that. He smokes weed. That's
her.
what he was getting a shout out for.
Okay,
He
yeah.
probably smoked the weed in her face and blew it in her face and was like,
Well, she's
I'm
got
glad you
leukemia,
have
so
leukemia.
that'll do something.
I wish it was prostate or liver cancer, but you don't really get it in the prostate. 'Cause you're not.
I'm glad you didn't go to the concert because you would have got leukemia all over everybody. So there.
I'm going to be positive. I'm starting the new year off on a positive note. I have 2 shout-outs instead of a shout-out and a fuck you.
Grumpy cat, say it ain't so.
I know, right? I know, right? I'm trying to turn that frown upside down for 1 week and grin and bear it. First shout-out goes to my friend Tim, because he got me a sweet... As I mentioned beforehand, I collect sports cards, and in particular, I collect the former Braves and Cardinals and Red Sox pitcher, John Smoltz. And he hooked me up with a really nice, rare piece for my collection. So thank you, Tim. I appreciate that. And on a more grand scale, where you people would actually give a shit, I am giving a shout-out to a new startup site for gaming apparel and wall art, things like that. Fangamer.net. I just got my order today, and I've never seen anything packaged so awesomely. Each shirt has their own individual label that they seal the package up with, and it comes with a nice little button for each shirt. I got some sweet Metroid and Chrono Trigger gear today, and some of it is just... I got the space jump, the high jump boots, the logo for that on a shirt. Just really, really cool stuff. And the Chrono Trigger stuff that they got, they even threw in a little Epoch sticker for free. Because we ordered quite a bit. I got a nice Dark Omen hoodie from Chrono Trigger. Really cool stuff. And they got a lot of nice art. So... from what I gather, they had a Kickstarter to get things going, and I'm really pleased. I wore my shirt and my hoodie today when I went jogging earlier, and it was so comfortable, and it's so stylish. I highly recommend that every gamer go and check that place out. Fangamer.net.
Let me interject here. The other thing that Loading Ready Run does that I forgot to mention is Desert Bus for Hope, a yearly telethon where they drive the Desert Bus over and over, and Fangamer is a perennial sponsor of Desert Bus, which is the charity, and they raise money for Child's Play.
There you go.
So,
hey, excellent. A good company to support. It's very unique. I've never seen anything like this. Every shirt includes little buttons and stuff, and the buttons are metallic and just holographic.
do they
randomize
randomize the buttons you get, basically?
No. Each shirt comes with a button that's tailor-made for that shirt. So, every time you order a shirt, it comes...
badge.
Exactly. It comes with a complete package, basically. It's really awesome. I highly recommend it. Things that we still need for the podcast. Music. My good friend Charles Knapp is making a little bit of music for us now. The more music that we can get, the better. That's how I feel about it. We still need to figure out about iTunes, and that could be my fuck you of the week to iTunes, because I'm getting rid of my iPhone and all Apple products. I'm done with it. And but again, I'm trying to be...
That positivity sure lasted a long time.
Grumpy Cat's coming back out, folks. We still need a logo, you lazy mother...
Well,
okay,
I'll say this. I've been trying to work on it.
Floating out there.
Do we?
I believe it's on the Brywheel forums. I'd have to double check, but I think someone made one a while ago.
Yeah,
okay.
Skatha
I've been
made one.
trying to work on it. I just no ideas are coming. I'm doodling. I'm like, okay. Nothing looks that great.
I will. I'll put out another feeler on my end for some logos. But if you guys have any it doesn't matter. We're not going to laugh at it. For Christ's sake, we're a bunch of idiot losers who are doing a podcast together. Well, yeah,
But I'm a
Jesse
jerk.
actually has. Yeah, Jesse is A, an asshole, and B, he has artistic talent.
No.
So-
A,
No, no.
he's an asshole. B, he's a bunghole. Get it right. Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm still learning. God.
C is
All
a... Never mind.
C is something that starts with C. All right, guys. That wraps up this incredibly long episode of the podcast.
They get longer and longer. I don't know how it
Yeah,
happens.
we're going to start
Yeah.
dividing these up in half
Well-
the way we're going.
Yeah, we really
With 4 guests, it's just going to get that way. And I was trying to be even like, okay, I can blab about anything. So
Yeah,
That's cool. Whatever.
It's true. Now that we know the way the format will work out, now we know what we can. Maybe we can move some stuff in and move some stuff out
Exactly.
between each podcast. But we're still learning. Have you ever seen me play a game, guys? I end up dying in the same spot 99 times. before I go.
Da-na-na. Da-da-da.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
That's exactly what it's like. We're all slow learners here, except Brian, because he's got a big fancy brain. Ugh.
Yeah, because
Right.
I showed that off of that Glacius fight. That's
His
for
name is Brain.
Well, it is if you're dyslexic. All right.
Or
Take
stupid,
care,
whatever.
everyone. We will see you next time.
Next time.
Well, I won't.
Yeah, screw you,
Aw.
KK. Screw you. Get lost.
Oh.
See you guys.
Okay, I'll put Eyebaltron back on.
What now?